The families today, however, will not be picking the winning cake. We've got a panel of expert judges here to select the winner. Carrie Vincent, Hall of Fame sugar artist and wedding cake designer. Okay. Patrick Costin, owner and executive pastry chef of PC Desserts in New York City. And Amber Boyd, associate manager for domestic marketing at Disney Parks.
The judges are basically held to a criteria of artistic value, technical merit, and representation of theme.
Disneyland is a great place to celebrate no matter what the occasion is. If it's something as small as losing your first tooth to something as grand as an anniversary, we have something here for everybody. When judging the cakes, I want to see the spirit of lasting memories. That's really going to be key for me.
We're on a roll.
It's going to be Thunder Mountain.
Okay.
So Bill's celebrating his 50th birthday in Disneyland. So I wanted to make him a very fun, childlike cake.
And the different colors?
These are his favorite colors. This is his favorite color right here.
Okay.
I don't think it's possible to go too vibrant in Disney.
Now he's got just a perfect attraction, Dumbo the ride. He's got a great Dumbo figurine thanks to his assistant in the back. That's going to impress the judge Amber from Disneyland. He can still sneak in and win this thing.
As Kristen was making Mickey, I noticed that he wasn't quite Disney Mickey-ish.
I'm feeling confident now that Mickey has ears.
And I think we all know what that means. If we look at this and say, yeah, that kind of looks like Mickey, we're going to lose immediately. It won't even matter what else we do.
I think it can kind of go over one eye, can't it?
I hinted that we should probably put some more pirate paraphernalia on him, something to give him a yo-ho-ho look and to hide certain parts of him.
Everybody knows who Mickey Mouse is. Our Mickey, Zane's Mickey, compared to anybody else's, his was better. We decided to go with like the Fantasia look because of the fact that it's a robe. It's quicker.
He did a good job capturing the spirit of Mickey.
I thought too.
But he needs to capture Astro Orbiter, and he's not doing that. We should be seeing a lot of spheres, a lot of things moving, a lot of spinning, orbits, things like that. We're not seeing that. I think he's going to make that a small element of his cake, which I'm a little disappointed in.
Do you hate it?
No, not yet.
Not yet? You don't hate my cake yet? Really? Thanks.
What I'm seeing right now in Kitchen 2 with Jason's Dumbo is a bit concerning to me. The attraction I don't feel is really being incorporated right now in the cake. And I'm just really not in love with it as far as connecting to the celebration piece. You know, first steps, first words, mama, dada, I'm missing that right now.
Riding is always really hard. You're shaky. You have no food in you. You've been up since 5 o'clock in the morning.
Pieces are on the table, but we're not done yet. When we come back, the competitors will face the judges at Sleeping Beauty's castle.
I personally would have preferred to have seen some more masterful techniques from you.
I just thought your cake was very elementary.
Apparently some people didn't get it.
The winner of today's Disney Celebration Cake Challenge is...
Welcome, Richard. Back on the chopping block again.
Back on the chopping block. Facing the judges, you're in Disneyland, you have a lot of people around you. And let's get this over with.
Well, you look like you were treading water for a while for us. We were watching and nothing was happening, nothing was happening. And then all of a sudden it came together. But I think your biggest Achilles heel was Mickey. His official Mickey-ness wasn't there. He was a little thin and he looked more like the original Mickey to me.
Steamboat Willie.
Right.
Yeah.
He totally hit it out the park with capturing, obviously, the spirit of the story, Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh, thanks.
However, I really wouldn't have known it was the Gonzalez family reunion if I hadn't seen the sign. But overall, I love the details. I love how you infuse the classic part of it in terms of bringing Mickey into it and Pluto into it. Nice touch.
Thanks. Thanks so much.
Richard, it's always a pleasure to judge you, but your piece is more of a frontal view piece and not 360 degrees.
We were so intent with the one side of the cake, I didn't even think about it. And when they did, I thought, they're absolutely right. I probably should have spent a little more time thinking about the backside of him.
Welcome, Norman. It's nice to see you back. First of all, I thought your cake was light and fresh, but I personally would have preferred to have seen some more masterful techniques from you. Even though you said you were going to cover it up, it still was very evident that the surface of your cake was very cracked.
Overall, I thought it was a beautiful cake. I do like the fact that you hit home the 40th anniversary, but I did think you missed Judy and Steve celebrating their grandson's first visit.
I think you really captured the anniversary and the celebratory theme really well. I just thought your cake was very elementary, but a very good cake nonetheless.
Patrick's usually pretty negative on almost everything, and he did have a positive comment. So that did make me feel really good.
Welcome, Jason.
Hello.
I really like the fact that for the first time you broke out of your mold and you gave me a cake that wasn't a wedding cake setup. It's also the cleanest work I have seen you do. My only issue was that Dumbo was way too small to be a part of the story. Had you made the focus on Dumbo, it would have been much better.
Totally think you captured the story of Dumbo. I loved seeing the scene, but I also felt the cake itself kind of missed the elements of celebrating. It also missed the elements of the attraction itself, has Dumbo flying, and that wasn't really in it. But overall, I think it was great in terms of how you captured Dumbo, and I thought Dumbo looked awesome.
I really like your cake today, and I really like the brickwork on your house. But this to me was more of a haunted house themed cake. If that was a haunted house, I think you would have nailed it. But this cake was made for a toddler, and that to me is a little bit scary.
Okay. Everybody else understood that we were trying to go more of the cartoon route as opposed to haunted house. Apparently some people didn't get it.
Welcome, Bronwyn.
Hi.
Okay, the usual thing that you're always good at is your airbrushing. You did a really clean job, and I think you're probably one of the best in the business. I know that you had a big issue with your armature and how it was constructed, so you ended up with it was off skew. But overall, technically, you had really clean skills.
You really hit the Disney story. I could totally see Big Thunder Mountain in your cake. Where I struggled with a little bit was the colors. I couldn't tell if we were celebrating Bill's 5th birthday or his 50th, but I did like your attention to detail. You had the mountain goat in there at the bottom of the cake, so that was awesome for me. Thank you.
I'm not a fan of the bright colors that you used in this cake, and I think that's part of your signature.
My client was, though.
Your client, and I can totally see that. But for me, as a judge, I just didn't like those bright colors, but I understand why you're using them.
I know those judges don't like bright colors. Whatever. The cake wasn't for them. It was for Bill.
What are you celebrating? That's been the question here at Disney Parks all day. And the great news is, we've wound up with 4 fantastic celebration cakes. And additionally, I feel 4 families that have truly had a day to remember. But as you well know, if you've watched Challenge, in the end, only one person goes home with a check for $10,000.
So the award ceremony is always so nerve-wracking.
Only one family will get to cap off their evening in celebration with a customized cake to take their day over the top. So let's get right to it.
You don't like the suspense. You're like, say it already.
The winner of today's Disney Celebration Cake Challenge is Richard Ruskell.
It felt so good. I felt like I deserved it. I was really happy with the cake.
Our pleasure. Our pleasure. Our pleasure.
And then to win for this fantastic family who I had just met like 9 hours before, and I really wanted to do right by them.
He nailed some really key elements from the theme, and he did incorporate, even though it was a very small element, a family reunion with the family in the raft. So that's where he really nailed it on the theme front.
To actually feed them a slice of cake was one of the best Disney moments.